Let's begin. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وسلم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers and sisters. I hope and pray everyone is doing well. Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much, everyone. We are so grateful for each and every one of you, mashallah. Oman Sisters Committee welcome all brothers and sisters across the globe to join our event by Allah's blessing and mercy. Alhamdulillah. My name is Uzma and I'm doing Bachelor's in Islamic Psychology at IOU and Chairperson of Oman Sisters Student Committee. Dear brothers and sisters, I would like to thank Jazakallah Khairan Kathiran for your sincere feedback and beautiful duas. You will get all the latest updates from our IOU Oman SC Events community group, inshallah. Our dedicated team member, Sister Tahreem, is posting the group link in the YouTube chat box, so you can directly join from the link shared, inshallah. Dear brothers and sisters, calling people to Allah is one of the best and noblest of deeds in front of Allah. The message that changed the world is the message of Tawheed, the oneness of Allah. It's the duty of each and every Muslim to convey the message of Islam to people in the best possible manner. Whosoever calls to Allah without knowledge, then such a person will cause greater harm than good. So, it is obligatory for a person to first acquire knowledge of the subject matter, then do dawah. I hope and pray today's webinar will help all of us to understand how to interact, do dawah, and be prepared for any cross-cultural communication and propagate the deen of Allah in the best way, inshallah. Dear brothers and sisters, if you have any question related to the topic, please ask in the live chat box. Guest speaker will answer your question in the end, inshallah. Without further ado, let me introduce to our respectable guest speaker, Dr. Khalid Ibrahim Al-Dosri. Dr. Khalid has amazing academic background. He completed his BA from King Saud University, Master of Science in Tesla State University, Master of Education in Human Resource Development, PhD in Business Administration, Certificate in Performance Improvement Consulting, Certified Trainer in Dialogue and Cross-Cultural Communication, mashallah, tabarakallah. He designed and conducted multiple Dawah workshops. He has given many talks around the globe on effective Islamic English cross-cultural communication. His motto is, be an Islamic exhibit on the move. Allah Mubarak. We feel extremely honored and privileged to have Dr. Khalid Al-Dosri with us today. Welcome, Dr. Khalid, to Oman Sisters Committee event.
بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. First of all, before I start, I would like really to thank the Oman Sister Committee and its members, Noor and Shifa, Uzma, and the rest of the members that I don't know the name of, for being so persistent and persevere so highly with a beautiful dedication to make sure that they spread the message of Islam all over the world. What they're doing is basically they're actualizing communication, authentic communication, and authentic leadership. I commend you on this. I applaud this committee for continuing this, not an easy task in the middle of all these fitan and all these tribulations these days. To have such perseverance and dedication is basically par excellence and the example that we would like all the people who are now watching this presentation to exhibit and manifest. Because at the end of the day, authenticity is your secret to presenting Islam. Authenticity is your secret, your leadership. Authenticity is your originality of who you are, that you need to present Islam genuinely without being a copyist, being an original presenter of Islam, being an original communicator of Islam, being an original leader of Islam. And that's what we need to work, all of us, on to make sure we manifest and actualize what Prophet Muhammad ﷺ mentioned in the hadith. All of you, كلكم راع وكلكم مسؤول عن رعيته. All of you are a shepherd. All of you are responsible. And all of you are leaders. And the fact that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ highlighted all of you, that shows that if there is a type of learning, if there is a type of development, if it doesn't start with yourself, and if you don't ignite this jinni of talents in all the people, to let go of it and make sure that everybody be creative and innovative in presenting Islam. All of you, he said, all of you, all of you. So the fact that we see today this one-man show, we need to kill it. There is no such a thing as one-man show. All of us has to make sure that they lead from within, and we need to have these talents and capabilities get out of the lantern. And if these talents and capabilities and treasures that every individual has are out, that means we will produce, if we collaboratively use all these talents and capabilities together, to produce the biggest impact for the sake of Islam. And when I say for the sake of Islam, it's for the sake of dunya and akhirah at the same time. So this is what we need to do. And this is why EIECC is very, very important. It's one of the best programs in the world that I have seen so far, not because I did it, because what I have manifested all these years, what I have learned all these years, and what I have experienced and seen in the market of da'wah. And I claim strongly that if we don't apply many of the models that EIECC, supports, designs and supports and promulgates, that we're not going to produce the best leaders. Because at the end of the day, you have content, you have a process, and you have platforms, you have systems, and you have people. Now, without people, all of this will demolish. People, people, people. This is why EIECC stands high and soars high for the past 30 years, and more than that. The history of EIECC is very amazing. The history of EIECC, it has been an experiential learning for me and others collaboratively. Basically, everything that I have put in this program, it is not just Khalid al-Dosiri that has put it there. It is others that have contributed in one way or the other, whether through my interaction with them, through my lecturing, through my experiences, through my studies, through my learning, through my development, through my work experiences. All of this have shaped this person who is standing in front of you today talking about EIECC to come up with this conglomerate and integrated, very powerful program that is not just a program. It is basically an academy, or more than that, on the move. Too many components are that. The most important in what I'm going to be presenting you is that a methodology that's so powerful that you can use for your family, you can use for your institute, you can use for your writing curriculum, you can use for your students, you can use for program designs. These models have already, it's not like wishy-washy theoretical stuff, no. Models that have been tried, tested, used to produce leaders, and we have leaders that have come out of these models, not in the da'wah field, even in the dunya field. This is why what I'm going to be talking about is so important and so crucial and significant that I would love to see people really apply this in their dawah centers, in their universities, in their schools, in their nurseries, at homes. So I want you, while I'm talking, just to try to concentrate with me and see what is it that I'm going to be saying. I'm going to start now, if you allow me, and I will just put it on the show. Can anybody see it now very clearly? Can you see the PowerPoint? Can you see the PowerPoint?
No, we can't see right now.
You cannot see the PowerPoint?
No, we cannot see the PowerPoint.
Okay, so now I need to go to the show again and share it. Okay, now can you see it?
It's loading. Yes, we can see it now. Alhamdulillah.
Beautiful. So basically, this is, look at the title. My introduction has covered the title. Authentic. I'm very adamant on using the word authentic and genuine. These days, they talk about authenticity a lot when it comes to leadership. They talk about authentic communication. And these are big words. There are lots of things that have been written about it. Some articles here and there, okay, or books. So this is why I'm using it, because at the end of the day, I want to reach with you and reach with myself to originality, spontaneity, quick-wittedness to lead the situation and lead any situation in any encounter for people of other cultures to make sure that when I present to them, I sound genuine, sincere. And this is a word that I need to underline, sincerity. Now we're here. I would like everybody who is watching me now and listening to me to revisit his intention now and calibrate it, recalibrate it again and again, now and while I'm talking, so that in the process you are always purifying your intention that what we are doing here together, all of us, is for the sake of the Creator, Allah, to please Him. Because at the end of the day, whatever we do, if it is not based on that pure sincerity, it will be demolished. It will not be counted for you. Because every minute we spend here, or every second we spend here with the right sincerity, with the pure sincerity, it is counted for all of us as ibadah. That's the beauty of Islam. You submit yourself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala peacefully, day and night, while alive till you die. Your life, all your life, is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And everything you do, it has to be for the sake of Allah, so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless it all the time. So let's go and take this journey, the leadership journey, learning journey together. That EIECC, what is this EIECC that I have bothered people all the time talking about it? I dream about it. It has become my nightmare and my dreams to make sure that I don't leave this world without making sure that people leads in presenting Islam so beautifully and effectively and eloquently. This is our slogan, and I've used it for a reason, because all of us knows the hadith that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has told us, بَلِّغُوا عَنِّي وَلَوْ آيَةً. Al-balagh, be eloquent, baligh, being eloquent, using the right words, using the right expressions, dressing in the best way, smelling in the best way, choosing the right situation, choosing the right context, choosing the right place. All of these are very important in the word بلغوا عني ولو آية. بلغوا عني, about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even if it is one verse or sign. Anything Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has communicated to us, he never lost anything. He never forgot anything. He told us exactly what is needed to be said. And we have اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا. Today, the Quran says, we have perfected for you everything. So if anybody or anything or any group or any sect or anybody starts to deviating, going away from this perfected way of life, we have to watch out and be careful. Don't you ever be mesmerized by the words or the look. If everything I say or anybody says is not based on the Quran and the Sunnah, and it goes away from that, we need to bring it back to the Quran and Sunnah. And that's our criteria. These are our criteria and standard. This is our quality control. If we don't instill this quality control and filter in our kids, in our people, anything that will come their way, they will be confused. This is why Aqidah is very important. This is why you find the best scholars, they concentrate a lot on the Aqidah. Because in the middle of the mess that's happening in the world, and the middle of the tribulation that's happening, if you don't have the right aqidah, what will happen to you? Even your judgment will be blurred. Even your judgment will be always confused, and you will be saying the wrong thing. You will be basically having hodgepodge stuff that you don't know which one is which, and you confuse people with you. This is why we need to always, this is why this university, IOU, is based on a personality that has excelled in presenting Islam all over the world. Dr. Bilal Phillips. Look at the way, his belief, his aqidah, the way he acts, the way he conducts himself. I've been with this personality for the past 40 years, more than that. We were together in the same university in Riyadh. I knew him at that time, and the man hasn't changed a bit since I've known him. A lofty personality that has exhibited the right aqidah. And of course, all of us have got our own mistakes. We are human after all, but that personality always mesmerizes you. Always, you get so attracted by a personality like that. But of course, we should not have always, we should always be careful about always, getting so, just, want to be following just one person or that person. Our criteria, our filter will tell us that this is a personality that we should be following, and this is a personality that we will have to listen to, because everything he says or she says is based on Quran and the Sunnah. And of course, there will be always confusion. This is why the Quran is telling us, "Fas'alu ahla dhikri in kuntum la ta'lamun." But we should know who are the Ahl al-Dhikri, not anybody. So we have to be very careful. I don't stand here as a sheikh. I stand here as somebody, consultant in human resource development, consultant in teaching English, and consultant in communication, and that's basically who I am. So our slogan in this program, we would love to see you and all of us in an Islamic exhibit on the move. Now, to come up with this authentic leadership, to come up with this authentic communication, what is guiding EIECC is a quality in human resource development, quality in vision. We in EIECC, we always tend to make sure that we build well-rounded individuals. Meaning what? Well-rounded, meaning that they have all the competencies required, the most important competencies required. We need to dig deep to get out the treasures that the people have, so that they can use it, put it together, so that they present it to the whole world. To do this, there are 6 or 7 guiding parameters for us. First, we want to make sure we realize the fullest potential. We have to go deep so that we get out this, as I said, that treasure. So that's one. Secondly, we need to learn how communicate ideas, So when you get these treasures out, the most important things are 3 things. Leadership, you need people to lead. You need people to learn always. You need people to communicate. These are the most important competencies that are embedded in any competencies other than them. Whether it's problem solving, decision making, critical thinking, any other competencies are always using these 3, are based on these 3 competencies: leadership, self-leadership, self-learning, continuous learning, and communication. These are not easy words just to say them like that. They require, I need to see them actualize. I want to see leadership in actuality, not just outside the workshop, not just outside no, I want people from the workshop. This is what excuse me. This is what distinguishes EIECC. We don't wait so that people will later on show their leadership, show their communication, later on show their learning in the workshop early on, in any workshop. And we don't have one workshop, by the way. EIC has got 6, 7, 8 workshops easily. It's a methodology. It's a vessel. You put content, and you cook it up with the people. So the people, they will cook it up. themselves, and they will produce the best meal so it can be served to the non-Muslim beautifully, and people relish it. They stay in the house of Islam, or they keep coming to the house of Islam. Whether they become Muslim and they stay in the same house, or they relish it and you neutralize them and they love being around Muslim. So it's very important to make sure that these people are the cooks and the chefs in the workshop. So when they come, you give them all the ingredients and you give them the most important thing, the recipe, and they themselves communicate. They themselves do the job. They themselves actualize, and they work hard together to make sure they produce the best meals and the best cross-cultural communication meals to present Islam. So they learn how to communicate ideas. The other parameter or guiding parameter, identify opportunities. These talented people, as soon as you let loose of their talents, and the talents they float around them, they can see these talents will start looking for opportunities to present Islam. They will start looking for projects. They will come up with their own project. They don't wait for somebody else to spoon feed them, like what we are witnessing today. Certain personalities stand always on the podium and they talk too much, and we have them. And unfortunately, famous people, they always love to talk and they forget the other people. They stand and talk. And they don't know that many of the people sitting are much better than them when it comes to producing results, if we can let these talents come out, these capabilities. Look today what's happening. Who's taking care of the IT and the social media? You think they're all elderly like me? No. The talented people like Oman Committee, IOU Committee, and these youth and young. Now, if we don't give them the opportunity or make sure that they are ignited to look for opportunities, you're going to kill these talents and capabilities, and they will continue the traditional way of waiting for somebody to come and talk with them all the time and give a lecture. And always, as time goes on, he gets puffed up and he gets puffed up and he stands on the pedestal and till he throws himself in Jahannam. Some of those guys, because they start becoming arrogant and they start, astaghfirullah al-azim, they start acting in a rude way, because people put them in the pedestal all the time, attending all the time with them, and always, and this is where shaitan comes. We've lost some of the shuyukh in this way. So we have to be very careful. The sheikh should be the humblest of all. The alim should be the humblest of all. If he's somebody who's arrogant and he deals with people arrogantly and he's always talking in a way, he's talking, and people are just listening, and he is not, that's not training, that's not development. That's knowledge, basically passing knowledge, passing information. Okay. With all the respect to all the scholars and shuyukh, this is knowledge. We need to get this knowledge. But the shuyukh, the right shuyukh, the sincere shuyukh, the shuyukh that we'd love to see around all the time, they will always tell us to go make sure we transfer this beautiful knowledge that they have, that passed to us, turn it into projects, turn it into something. We need to come up with our communities, share all this beautiful knowledge. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ didn't tell us to go to become a sheikh to share the knowledge right away. No. He said, بَلِّغُ عَنِّي وَلَوْ آيَةً. In this embedded message, very powerful message, that every one of you has no right to forget about Islam and ignore Islam. We are all obliged to lead and communicate this one ayah. And no one from the Muslim doesn't know one ayah. But of course, we have to learn one ayah, another ayah, another ayah, and know about it more and share it. And if we want to know it more, we should share it with the others. بَلِّغُوا. Don't stop. Right away. The Sahaba, when they became Muslim, some of them, they just accepted Islam and they went to their tribes presenting Islam right away. Did they stay all these years and months to get PhDs or master till later on to start presenting Islam? No way. It's not Islam. That's not construction. That's not Islam. So, and then, of course, sharing the knowledge is very important, as we said. The other parameter is be original. And that's a lot of work to be original, to be authentic, to be yourself. Be spontaneous and quick-witted. This is what we train people through this recipe that we give them in the program, because we take them through a ladder And through this letter and a process, we want them to become original. We don't want them to just memorize. By the time we finish the workshop, we want them to stand and talk on their toes, making sure they present Islam. So this is why we have a lot of activities during the program, one of which is tour guidance activity, where people stand in front of the learning posters that we put on all the walls, and people there, they are supposed to read and basically read some of these posters and stand in front of us, talk about the poster in 3 minutes. And they are not supposed to read, because as soon as they turn their head to the poster, they get out of this contest. This is some of the warm-up activities that we do, because at the end of the day, we'd love to see people be original, quick-witted, spontaneous. Most importantly, we'd love to see people working in teams and leading themselves and leading teams, always collaborating with the others. Not having this dissected mentality or sectarian mentality or partisanship that has killed a lot of the beautiful projects in the world, that has unfortunately disintegrated the Muslim from within. We need to work on this. So whatever message we have to be sending to the people through the IECC is that we want you to be a community working together all the time. I benefit you in whatever I have, you benefit me in whatever you have, and we collaborate and complement each other, and we get this, what is called synergistic power, accumulative power. Your ideas with my ideas, we come up with other ideas that is so powerful. And the last thing in this guiding principle is basically, we have whatever we do, we need to always, as Muslim, because we have the perfect way of life, Islam, we have always to seek quality, and we have to innovate and be creative in whatever we do. We don't want to, when it comes to our work or businesses or companies, we see ourselves innovating, quality, talk about all that stuff. When it comes to Islam, we don't give it the best of our time. We don't give it the best of our endeavors. Becomes like a marginalized type of, no, this is Islam. And you have to exert your utmost level to be so perfect. Of course, nobody's going to be perfect, but you have to reach to near perfection, quality always. You have to, every day, you need to have a day that is different from the other day. Today should be better than yesterday. Tomorrow should be better than today. And this is where we need to work. You need to learn. This is why the word that came to Prophet Muhammad, the first word, iqra. Iqra. Every day you have to read, learn, and learn. Being in boxes, this is not what we put. Boxes came later on, elementary, intermediate, high school, bachelor degree, master degree, PhD, all these boxes. Okay, they put things in a structure, yes, but that's not continuous learning. They open up for you. They put you in structure. What they call it. It's beautiful to be in this structure. You have a structure. You learn, yes, but you have to have parallel, continuous learning, parallel, continuous development. You don't wait. You just don't concentrate on just reading a course here, a course here, a course here. No, that's not the way to go. This is only part and parcel of a far-reaching, or what you call comprehensive learning strategy, that you need to have lifelong learning that they talk about it. So basically, we are going back to fitrah. Read the first thing, because you have to read and read and read. The main scholar, if you go the predecessor before, they didn't have these boxes before, but they were the greatest scholars, So we have to be careful that. So our school, beautiful, okay, we have to be in this, because unfortunately, this is a system now. But we have to make sure that this is not our dependence only. So the 3 goals, I will move fast. I'm moving very slowly. Sorry for that, but I'm just trying to take you into this, to understand the depth of what I'm talking about. EIECC for me is my bread and butter, as they say. So the first aim, the general aims, develop global leadership from within to present Islam. The second, become Islamic exhibit on the move. The third, forming communities of commitment. Because if I form community of commitment, then what I will do, I will form communities of interest. I will form communities of practice. And that's the most important thing. So when I get communities committed, then they will practice, and they will practice whatever they interest them. And there will be another splinter teams that they will concentrate on their interest. That's in human resource development. There are three communities: communities of commitment, community of commitment, community of practice, community of interest. Anything you do, you have to have these communities. So when you have like a commitment to Islam, the present Islam, then you have the interest of everyone, then you have the practice now. So they started practicing what they are good at. That's their interest, that's their discipline. This is where individual differences start mushrooming, and everybody starts concentrating on his strength and capabilities that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him. Because human being is an enigma full of aspects. There is the people who are clever kinesthetically, people who are clever intellectually, people who are clever. There is emotional intelligence, there is social intelligence, there is kinesthetic intelligence, there is numeric intelligence. This is what Gardner talked about later on. Now, this is the environment I have built in this EIECC. Forget how this is. You see Ghana there, because I just came from Ghana, Africa, and we had the most beautiful visit ever in my life. The most beautiful program ever. I did it in Ghana with the most beautiful people ever that I've seen. They were so passionate. It was one of the best trips I had. 15 days, full of activities, visiting schools, giving programs, day after day after day. Every day was so beautiful, so unique in my life. And my wife, she was with me also. So that's you look at this. This is basically, EIECC is an integrated, international, experiential, cross-cultural communication, learning experience. This is where you get people really involved early on in the program. They lead themselves through a concept called be careful here. This is the methodology: self-directed learning teams, stepping stone towards knowledge society in what? Cross-cultural communication. To do what? To present Islam. This is why they live it. You see it in the workshop. If you spend the three, of course, in Ghana and Sierra Leone and Malaysia, when we're there, we don't have just one workshop. We have all basically the package almost, but we squeeze it, even though we should not squeeze it because of the sake of the time. This is why I squeeze it. But usually you should, if you really want to produce it, you have to go through the academy. I call EIE Academy, which is really a bigger thing that, of course, I don't have the building for it. I don't have the money for it, but EIECC is an academy on the move. Like what I'm saying, you have to be an Islamic on the move. And this is why EIECC is important. You could see the whole world. We have to develop, we have to cruise with the ship of EIECC, the whole world. Why? Because the whole world is in need of every Muslim because of what's aching in the world. And there is nothing and no way that will bring the desired and needed peace, except Islam. The whole world, you should think globally. You should think bigger. And that's not me saying it. Because Prophet Muhammad, when he was sent as a mercy for all the world. Mercy. And that underlined the word mercy. Compassionate, mercy. Having this gentleness and mannerism that unfortunately is lacking these days in many of those who claim to promulgate Islam. Tough, harsh people, some of them, and we need to work hard on this. We should not be deceived by some of those. We have to be very careful in that, this gentleness, easiness, mannerism, beautiful morality. We need to, all of us, aspire to reach to it. It's not easy. We need to make sure we get there. We need to work hard on ourselves. We need to work hard on ourselves to reach to that status. So the whole word, as you could see, the whole word now is what? It's full of what you see in front of you. These problems, maladies, these aches, these diseases. Now, what happens? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us. This is why we have a beautiful one of the workshop we have is about the adhan. This is why, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with the words of the adhan. That many people just pass by it lightly without really pondering so deeply on the words of the adhan. In the words of the adhan is all the remedies and the solution for all of humanity. Simple words. The question that we raise in the workshop that we do for 2 days or 3 days is that why these words? Why these words? Because one of the competencies that we teach is critical thinking, reflecting. Now, if you reflect, why would Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala 1,400 years revealed these words through a dream of one of the companions that was confirmed by another companion that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ approved and was became part and parcel of the revelation? Why? The question, why these words? And we started surveying through workshops and started giving this workshop all over, collecting the gems and the jewels of the adhan, the eternal call that resonate. Strange enough, in the Old Testament, in Isaiah, I think 42, speaks about this song that will resonate and will bring all the truth. What is the song that resonates and bring all the truth other than the adhan? And it was prophesied even in the Old. I mean, imagine prophesied in the Old Testament, like what all the other prophecies about the coming of the truthful Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the adhan has, you see, this is why we are using this. This is our job. We cruise in the ship of the EIECC. We develop all the leadership. We develop competencies. We develop all the communication components. We develop all that so that we have people who can make a big impact on themselves and the whole world. So to come up with these solutions that you can see in front of you, because there will be no success for you and others except through connecting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to become what? Successful in this life. Hayya ala salat, to connect, and hayya al falah, to be successful, al falah, to be successful in this life and the hereafter. So this is part and parcel of the EIECC components, that we make sure that we go through every word. Every word has got a so deep a meaning that unfortunately we don't ponder it. We hear the adhan 5 days, but 5 times a day. But the problem is that it has become automatic. No pondering over it. And everything that Prophet Muhammad instructed us to say, whether it is a supplication in the morning or a supplication in the evening, or remembering Allah all the time, has got so deep a meaning. This is why we require a lot of tafakkur, reflection. So the EIECC goes through that. And this is basically what the EIECC saw. If you look at, this is what EIECC stands for. So let's read it from the top and let's read it from down. So it is effective Islamic English cross-cultural communication. Let's read. So what we are in the business now, I'm going to go from the bottom up. So we are in the business of developing communication cross-culturally by improving English language. What English language? Islamic, because that will make us carry the treasure that we have called Islam to the whole world. How? Effectively. So you can read it from the top down, and you can read it from what? From the bottom up. You can say CCIIE, CCEIE, or you can say EIECC. And both of them basically convey exactly what we do. So, but to get to this effectiveness requires to attend our EIECC. where we provide you with a lot of tools that I will talk about soon. And this is our strategy in the Academy of EIECC, to create an integrated experiential learning opportunity by leveraging a simulated da'wah or volunteering or relief environment, because EIEC can be also handle the relief thing, the volunteering thing, other than the da'wah also, which unleashes, which is the most important thing, the potential of the talent, and inspires and excites and engages who? Not the facilitator, the program participants, to willingly be part of the continuous success in their countries and the wider communities. Now, these are the benefits of the program: improve Islamic English, improve cross-cultural communication, develop leadership qualities, learn to work effectively in teams, reinforce the character, increase self-learning and self-motivation, nurture emotional intelligence and social intelligence and reflection, develop critical thinking and problem solving, in addition to the decision making, and most importantly, to reach with the participants to become strong change agents for themselves and others, to create a learning cross-cultural communication community that will support each other to present Islam so beautifully, effectively, and eloquently to the whole world. Am I connecting with everybody? I hope I'm connecting here with everybody. I'm moving slowly but steadily because I want everybody to pick up what I'm doing. That's basically what be effective global leader in cross-cultural communication to present Islam. This is, of course, our ultimate goal. Now, what is EIEC? So you can see that EICC, it's not like some people think it's Islamic English. It's not a dictionary, Islamic dictionary, like some people think. Even though when we started, it was not called EIECC, because at that time, I introduced it as English for Da'wah. And I had a partner with me, American brother, may Allah bless him. He is now the dean of Prince Muhammad University in Dammam, American brother Nuruddin. We started together this. And we started thinking about it. We worked together, and we at that time worked with with other people and communities or societies to make sure we deliver it. We called it at that time, that was a long time, maybe 30 years ago, we called it English for Dawah. And we passed it to many people and they started teaching it, So it was not just me. Other people started teaching it, other people started involving it. It was called English for Dawah at that time. Till later on, I started introducing the other components of the human resource development, like leadership, communication, coaching, mentoring, helping each other, critical thinking, emotional intelligence. This came later on with my development, as a person, with my deeper knowledge and experience, with my moving from one work to another work, till I landed in the company called the oil company, which has the best human resource development in the world, Aramco, Saudi Aramco company. And my last job was the head of the professional learning division. I was the administrator, and the head of the professional, which was a very important division that would receive and train those who will become the future leaders of this great company. And I'm very proud to be part of that company. I retired basically 13 years ago, 2013. So what is EIECC? Now this to focus more, because I want to clear some of the thinking or some of also the wrong ideas about it. EIC is a leadership development. That's the most important thing. EIC is based on self-directed learning team. There is no lecturing in it. EIECC is English for a specific purpose. So there is ESB component, which is one of my strengths in my life, because I wrote courses, English for security, English for internal auditors, English for that, So basically, then I wrote this course, English for Dawah. It is a cross-cultural communication improvement, powerful improvement. It's not just improvement. It's a process and methodology. So it's not a content. It is a competency-based learning. It is a character-building training. It is a self-development learning. It is a learning community building. It is a holistic and experiential learning. All of these latest things in the market are basically embedded in this EIECC. And this is exactly what EIECC is. But it is not, but it supports. EIECC supports strongly, but it is not. Be careful here. I'm not, this is why I say I'm not a sheikh. This is why I basically make sure that people who are involved in answering fiqh questions and issues, like we have shuyukh attending the program, they have better English, better leadership, better communication, better digestion of the information, better presenting. So answering for the EICC is not, this is the content. Responding to misconception, this is not EIECC, but it supports it and you become better at responding. EIECC is not content-based learning, but it partners with those with the content and turn the content into packages, learning packages, and it turns exhibit into learning exhibits and turns any product. So we have a lot of partnership with the people who are excellent when it comes to the content, but they're not good when it comes to packaging it or making it or design it instructionally. We take it, put it in the vessel of EIECC, we turn it into a beautiful learning and development products. EIECC is not a debate or what you see, all of that. No. But if somebody gets in the debate after attending EIECC, he will become better and better because he will become what? Himself, be himself, become original, spontaneous, and quick-witted. So basically, you prepare people for the debate if they get into that. EIECC is not lecturing, but we prepare people for that because when they live EIECC, they learn more words, they learn more expressions, they interact more, and they produce more, so they can easily prepare their own presentation in a much better way. This is why they are required at the end of the 8 weeks, and one of the assignments is to come and stand in front of people and present a PowerPoint presentation. EIECC is not e-learning or e-dialogue technique. No, but we prepare leaders to communicate. We put them on this platform. This is why we partner with those who have these platforms. E-dialogue, the dialogue, the وقت الحوار, شركة مداد, any platform that are already in existence, EIECC has already affected it one way or the other. When the e-dialogue started, we trained hundreds of people. At that time, e-dialogue was just started by the engineer Majid Al-Hussein. He came to me and we talked together and we trained a lot of people, alhamdulillah. And we had a very nice partnership at that time. And we trained a lot of people and he brought beautiful people there. He had one of the most beautiful team at that time. And we trained a lot of people through EIECC. So basically, we go train a lot of people. We put them on this platform. We give them the content that we partner with. We give them all of that. In the workshop, we give them every material they cannot dream of. Brochures, videos, posters, exhibits. Tell them, take it. It's not from me, from my partners. I just turn all of this into basically in designed packages, learning packages, whether on the wall or whether through video. And of course, my partners are always with me. Jam'iyyat Usul, one of the most powerful jam'iyyah that everyone has to. This is the best, one of the best in the world, if not the best. E-dialogue, Dr. Naji Al-Arfaj, one of my, the strongest brothers that I have been with for the past 40 years. He's got his own products, he's got his own innovative stuff, lots of discovered. It's a beauty website, t-shirts, everything, mashallah, tabarakallah. Amazing personality. He's a university walking, basically. May Allah bless him and prolong his life with the right deeds. That's another partnership. So this is why I say this is where we train inside the workshop that people collaborate with each other. When I go outside, I don't represent myself only. I represent myself and my partners. Where I speak about Islam House, Dr. Sheikh Ibrahim Al Ali, or Majid Al Husaymi, Dikun Al Hiwar, or those people who are so innovative and they are not into snobbishness and arrogance. They are hiding, they are hidden soldiers, but they are the most powerful people. One produced 115 languages site, and one the e-dialogue, 200,000 people accepted Islam, and people work. There are lots of people who work without showing themselves better than a lot of people who are always, you see them in front of you. No comparison whatsoever. But people, they work steadily, with focus, methodically, with legality, right? And they know how to produce things. So if you partner with the right people, the best people, you produce the best. But if you partner with people who would like just to talk all the time, and they don't, and they underestimate the human resource development, they are not into human resource development, because this art, no one can get into it unless he's gone through it. This is the most difficult project, is the human project. And you cannot just put it, because he's a sheikh, you just put him there, because it doesn't mean that he is a sheikh, he knows in this art. Or to lead an organization, with all the respect to the sheikh, there are sheikhs who have it all, but these are rare, you know. So you have to be very careful when you put on somebody in charge of anything. I would love to have the shuyukh surrounding him as consultant, no problem. But at the end of the day, leadership is not sheikhdom. Leadership is not sheikhdom. But if we can have a sheikh who is a superb leader and who's an excellent, that's even much, much better. So human resource development and developing people, not anybody is cut out to know it. Only the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ that has it all, and his companions, you know. And there are people here and there, but it requires a lot of learning, a lot of. So you cannot just have Tom and Dick and Harry, Ali and Muhammad to come and they say, okay, come and have a leadership program. You have to be very careful. We have to be very careful. We've lost a lot of people because of people who are teaching the traditional way and calling it leadership. We have to be very careful. Now, this is the ship of EIECC. This is exactly, it cruises the whole world. We have covered very close to 40 countries, introduced the program to them. We visited some of them, we gave them. And this ship, what it does, basically in the process, these are the skills that it makes sure that people will always leave this ship with. So that's basically, and the methodology, you can see it at the bottom, the yellow, self-directed learning teams. There is a lot of cross-cultural interface. There are a lot of open interchange of ideas, developing leadership skills, developing competencies. We live the community's values, the Islamic values, while we are on the ship together. We live how to present Islam together. We live how to communicate together. We coach each other. We learn from each other. But my role, or anybody who will take this EIEC and run with it, we have to create the right environment, facilitate the right environment, so that we can make sure that all the gems and the jewels of the people and the talents and capabilities come out. If we don't do this, that is not learning. That is not development. Never call it. If you have somebody coming giving a lecture, even if he claims have activity here and there, no, you have to be involved totally in this. And of course, in the process, you have to make sure you hook yourself with all the social media, because that's part and parcel. This is why we have a company, Sheikh Mohammed Ashur company, which is Midad company. Okay, we work together, we move together, because he is the expert. I think I call him the Sheikh of the electronic da'wah, and I call him the Sheikh of AI in da'wah now. We move together to make sure that whatever I do also feed into all these platforms. And, so that we make sure this is important. Partnership, aligning, network with other people. Excellent people, not anybody. You have to be very careful in selecting who you will be accompanying, or else you'll go backward instead of forward. And always remember this ayah, and I love this ayah. وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has honored the children of Adam. This will reduce this partisanship. This will increase your concentration and compassion and mercy for all the people. وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا. And remember, there is no karama except by bringing back to reconnect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the adhan. So that they pray, and when they pray, they become what? And they submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in their prayer, in their life, worldly life, family life, social life, political life, economic life. The adhan will come back again. We'll make sure we preserve this dignity of that human. That's the true dignity of the human. Because a human being, so this is why when you deal with people, you have to make sure you respect them. You preserve this dignity. And as much as possible, you don't injure it. There are some people, unfortunately, they think because he's a sheikh and he doesn't respond to this call or that call, or he doesn't do this, and he thinks of himself this, and he sends the wrong message, even though if he doesn't mean it. No, you have to humble yourself, because part and parcel of you as a Muslim, the meaning of the word Muslim, complete, peaceful submission, humbleness, humbleness, humbleness. And the more you humble yourself, the higher you'll become in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the less you humble yourself and the more arrogant you become shaitan in the disguise of a sheikh or the disguise of somebody who you become shaitan till Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala throws you down. And this is very dangerous. This is why intention, and emulating the Prophet Muhammad and his companions, reading the seerah all the time, making sure that because it gets into our head sometimes that because I have this knowledge, I have this program, I am the best of all, I am this and I am that. Yes, you have to be confident enough to say yes, because if you know very well, like when Yusuf alayhi salam presented himself that he could take care of this post and position that he wanted to preserve the economy of Egypt at that time. You can do, if you trust yourself and you are strong enough to say this, and you know that then you have the knowledge enough that exposes what's wrong here and there, and nobody else is there. Yes, you have to come there, because you will be sinning if you don't do that. Because those who will come will be so weak, and they will take this position and they will destroy. Basically, they will mislead the people. That's different now. And this is the environment that we're talking about. And this is what's happening in the best companies all over the world. The best companies. This is what the Adhan is telling us, but nobody is noticing it. Adhan, by the way, teaches you many of these things without you not noticing about it. Leadership, mentoring, coaching, learning, reflecting, communities. Just think about it, Adhan and Salah. Reflection. So, just to cut it, when we started this program, as I told you, we used to call it what? English for Dawah, because at that time, we wanted the vision. This is the vision, you can see. Quality global leaders. We want to produce quality global leaders and presenting Islam in cross-cultural communication. We add our mission, divine values to the world through effective cross-cultural communication, hence better solutions and quality peaceful life, as you saw the globe and all these remedies and the solution I presented. And the rationale, when we started this program, unfortunately, we have a lot of people, due to the colonization, that speak English language in the world more than any. It's the highest, the highest language spoken in the world now. And many people, unfortunately, are not using it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So our target at the beginning, English for a specific purpose, English for da'wah. And we kept this because that is the igniting reason, or the burning platform that led to EIECC later on. So the rationale, and still for us, this is why when I wear this, you can see the shirt, use my shirt, use English to present Islam. Instead of twisting your tongue, acting like, hey man, what's happening? Or Miss Gada to Gada, or all that stuff. No. These are cultures. Act, be yourself, be genuine, preserve your culture, preserve your Islamic identity as much as possible, and don't be indoctrinated because you learn English because you want to be like somebody else. No. You learn the language. This is beautiful. This is a blessing for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah has given you the language, use it for His sake. It's a blessing, use it. But never, never get this language to get into your mind, because language is a culture. It's not a course. This is the most difficult thing about language. So we have to be very careful. When you learn the English language, I learn English language, I learn other cultures, okay? But as I have to be very careful so that my identity and my Islamic culture will not be diluted, and it will be wasted, and I will be wasted with it. We have to be very, very careful about it. I have to be proud of who I am. I have to present Islam, and I have to present who I am. One of the most problem thing in cross-cultural communications, people who don't know who they are because of a lot of confusion. No aqidah, no right aqidah. The filter is wrong. They started mixing and they started having a medley ideas, confused ideas here and there. So by the time this person represents his country, what happens? He is not representing his country. He's not representing his Islamic culture. He's representing something confused. So that's not a cross-cultural communication. Becomes his own culture, his own character that's got so mixed. So what is it? Because the most important thing in cross-culture, know who you are and present who you are right to the other people. So the people understand you, and you will clear the what do you call it? The cog, what do you call this? The doubts or the misty ideas that you have about. This is very important. Who you are. Where do I stand as a Muslim? If your filter is aching, khalas, there is a big problem here. So this is why we were targeting everyone who speaks English from the beginning. And of course, the program will accept for the program is at least you should have intermediate level in English language. And the highest level is, because it's a leadership program, is native speaker. So it is not, don't tell me because you are a native speaker, you think that you don't need it. You need it more than anybody else, because there's a lot of skills other than the English language. The rationale, as we said, they are unable, those people, to lead and communicate effectively in English on Islamic subject, primarily because they lack confidence, the passion, and proper terms, and because also they have the trap of psychological barrier. They think that they cannot communicate Islam with other people because of their English, even though their English is strong. But when it comes to Islam, they fail. Why? Because they think they put in their minds they cannot basically present Islam through their English language. Basically, they can. The only thing that they are not used to do it. So you put them in this incubation called EIECC to break that barrier, psychological barrier, and they start basically presenting Islam as time goes on better and better. So the rationale, the goal, assess participant to improve their Islamic language, lead and communicate effectively in any cross-cultural communication to present Islam. And these are the English language. If you want to build to have an Islamic English center, or to have, let me say, an institute to teach English, and you want to concentrate on the English only, these are your objectives. I can do it for you. If you have a building and the money, and basically if you have 2 ladies, 2 men, English teachers with the staff, 3 or 4, okay, you take this PowerPoint presentation and you can have your own center. You just have the building with 4 classrooms, and you can have this program. By the way, this program is not just one workshop. I'll show you something later on. I told you it's an academy. You can have easily 8 levels or 6 or 7 easily. You can easily have all of this, because at the end of the day, it is just a methodology, a process, and you can feed into it all the content, and you put it in the vessel called EIECC, and you cook it up, as I said, and you go through the process for 1 year easily. And we did it before, but of course, we did it with other people, but was not really, we didn't go as far as 1 year, but you can, for those people who would like to have their own building for it. But of course, in my case, I'm not interested in that, because I move all over the world, making sure at least I spread this philosophy, these ideas, this methodology, and I benefit as many people as possible. I turned it into a product, a thesis. I turned it into papers. I shared it with some of these research centers so that people will benefit from this. And unfortunately, I still feel like I'm back in this. I need other universities to take these ideas and basically research it more apply it more practically so that we can have more leaders and presenter of Islam in a better way in the future, inshallah. And these are the tools, the recipes I told you that I use. These are the most powerful tools that will make you a good leader and communication. So you have the kids communication learning ladder individual. It's called kids after my name because I produced it. They called it kids, not the children or the child, the kid. It is kid Khalid Ibrahim Doseri. Kid. My wife called me that, so it got attached to me. Everybody's calling me when I was in the company. Of course, in company, they don't use your name. They said, bring the kid. They use the abbreviated, what do you call it, the acronym of the person. So I was called in the company kid, Khalid Ibrahim Doseri. This is why these tools were attached to me because I basically developed them. So you have this 4 tools. And you have, as I mentioned, the cross-cultural communication recipe and meals, the kitchen, because when you are with us in the program, as if you are really in a kitchen and you are the chef and you are cooking your cross-cultural communication dishes where you basically serve the appetizers, the entree, the main dish, and the desserts. And these are the criteria for communication that we provide people so that they can use them when they evaluate themselves or each other. And that's a form that one of the form that, of course, they are supposed to go and use the social media. They are supposed to go and meet some non-Muslim face-to-face. And after that, they are supposed to evaluate these encounters on their own, of course. It is not, of course, basically because of my movement, I don't stay for the whole time with the people. I stay with them basically through groups, WhatsApp groups. But if I want to do it like what we used to do it, at the beginning, like I stayed 8 weeks with the people, of course, I will apply all of that. But I leave these things for them to continue. We turn them into groups, and it's optional. They're supposed to follow these, the assignments that we give them, the guidelines that we've given them, and they're supposed to do all these assignments on their own. If they finish, they can contact us, and we basically award them a certificate, for the 55 hours. Usually, the workshop we start with is a gateway, 15 hours usually. And this is the strategy. The evaluation is always collaborative. We evaluate each other, the participants. This is when we begin. This is, of course, you could see requirements of the program. I'm not going to get into this a lot, but each level, we have levels. Usually, I only handle the 3 days with the assignments. I stay with them. And sometimes, of course, most of the time they want me to be with them. So I stay with them so that I share whatever I knew from content and platforms and new things with the people. So I stay in the groups. But to tell you the truth, it's so difficult and not easy for me to stay in the group for quite some groups. Of course, we finished and I left them. I was the minimum I'm supposed to stay with the group is 8 weeks. And so I sometimes stay because I know I have a lot of things coming my way. So I don't want people to lose the benefit of the new materials I'm getting. I'm getting a lot of materials that you cannot find any other place. Alhamdulillah, from Usul, from other places, mashallah, from Sheikh Muhammad, Midad Company, from many places that you cannot. This is why I keep staying in this group, so I share this. When I go to Ghana, I share with them everything, videos, 1,000 videos, Sharikat Midad, they have Guide to Islam, and lots of things, mashallah, tabarakallah. We have people who are really few, but their products is like basically 1,000, like 1,000 people are working together on these things. Amazing. The more you get into this, the more you discover a lot of people, mashallah, they are working for the sake of Islam better than people who are always put on the screen. You go to Africa, you go to Malaysia, you go to Thailand, you go to all these countries, mashallah, tabarakallah, you find, alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed this deen with individuals. Subhanallah, they have dedicated themselves for the deen. And you think of yourself as so dwarf, so small in comparison to those personalities. Nothing. Subhanallah, sometimes you see some of these individuals, you say, what is it that I'm doing? Wow, look at this guy. All these years, traveling, building, doing da'wah. MashaAllah, nobody knows about him that much. Some people are known, some people are not known, but they produce more. I've seen them. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. And the more you see these people, the more they give you energy, spiritual energy. The more they make you feel ashamed of yourself that, wow, what is it? I'm doing nothing in comparison to what these guys are doing. Allahu Akbar. This is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this deen is mahfuz, preserved, is mahfuz. وَإِن تَتَوَلَّوْا يَسْتَبْدِلْ قَوْمًا غَيْرَكُمْ. If you turn away on your heels, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will replace you with people who are better than you. So don't think that Islam, if you ache as against yourself. But if you prosper because you are in Islam. And Islam will be, victorious. Don't be fooled and deceived what's happening. Yes, fitna, yes, lots of things are happening, but Islam is victorious. Al-mu'min amruhu kulluhu khair. Al-mu'min, the believer, his matter is all good. If he's afflicted with something, he's patient and he is rewarded. And if he gets something that is so prosperous and nice and successful, he is also rewarded. So you are gaining in both ways. So you should be happy because you are a Muslim and you are a believer. The only thing is that you need to work hard on keeping these two things, Islam and Iman. We need to work hard on that. And that's not easy. It requires a lot. We have to struggle hard. That's again, you have to work hard. And that's not easy. I'm suffering. A lot of people are suffering. We have to dedicate ourselves. We have to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our intention is the most, fickle thing. You need to work hard on your intention all the time. It's not easy. We have to be very careful. This intention is elusive. We need to work hard on it day and night to make sure that I don't lose. I don't lose and you don't lose. Now sitting here talking, why? Because we want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be pleased with us. We want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be pleased with us. So these are some of the activities that we do in workshops. And some of them are workshop. You can see workshops here. Some of activities. You see, we have many activities. Alhamdulillah, and we did all of these activities here. And these are the workshops. This is basically the academy I'm talking about. A workshop, 3 days, 2 weeks of assignment, 3 days, 2 weeks, 8 weeks of assignment, 3 days, 8 weeks of assignment, 3 days. This is the idea of having an academy, inshallah, in the future. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prolongs my life and somebody is willing to do this academy, I'm ready to work. I have all the guidelines, everything, all the content, all the platform, nothing. The only thing is a person will come, do the building, have a director, have 2 teachers, 2 men teachers, 2 female teachers, and they start. And this is easy. I can just give them how to do it, and they can do it in any country. So simple. If I did it, if I do it, you can do it. And that's one of the levels, as you can see. Forget about the number here, but that's one level only. I will come, give 15 15-hour workshop. Then people will do their own assignments. They will meet. You can see this. They are supposed to do this. Now, if they don't do it, it's their own choice. But the most important thing for me is to finish the workshop with them, give them everything that they cannot dream of, all the exhibits, 8 exhibits, I don't know, the videos, the books, they cannot dream of the books, everything we give them, barcodes, cards, bags, whatever you think of, we give the people. The t-shirt, like the t-shirt I'm wearing, we are collaborating with Dr. Naji, with others, and making sure that we push all this information, give it to the people. But with the methodology of EIECC, they will become better. They will know how to use them. They will know how to share them. They will know how to read them. They will know how to lead in presenting Islam, using this content. So the content that is being produced, if you don't develop people to share it with other people, what's the use for it? So you want this content to reach as far as you can reach, But at the same time, you want the people who are presenting it also to learn it. And that's the thing you have to learn, because as soon as you learn it, you lead in presenting it. As soon as you learn it, you teach it to others, you become better. And this is leadership, and this is communication. If you want your communication to be better, right away, when you learn something, present it, share it, teach it. This is why Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he said, "Ballighu anni walau ayah." Right away, when you learn an ayah, you teach it to the other. Because if you learn at the beginning, you get content, you get knowledge. But if you want this knowledge to stay, and this knowledge content to stay, and you want to lead in presenting it, you have to teach it to the other. You'll become stronger, you'll become confident, your communication will be better, you'll be presenting better, you know. And this is the IECC, exactly what the IC is doing. Alhamdulillah. This is why we want everyone to participate, so that we establish this cross-cultural communication community that will be strong in leadership and communication, and will present the message collaboratively. All, not to wait for so and so to come and just spoon feed the people. Love to talk. We have a lot of people like that. You could bring him to your workshop, and you tell him to do something, and he talks, and he gives a lecture, forgets about the ideas of EIECC. We got fooled by some people like that. They don't understand what training and leadership and development is all about. He just want to talk. And that's basically it. And this is basically the 8 weeks, and what exactly when the assignment that people are supposed to do. And if they do it, okay, they will benefit. If they don't want to do it, at least you've given them the rope, you've given them the fishing rod, you've given them everything. They're just supposed to use it whenever they want it. And they need to come up with a project at the end of EIECC. Now, whether they come up with a project as a team, or whether they come up with a project as an individual, all is fine and beautiful. And that's basically the model, one of the models that we use, so that everything that I'm saying, EIECC is based on these models. So basically, you develop yourself, and you continue to develop yourself while developing others at the same time. You don't wait. Like some people say, no, I don't have the knowledge. I don't this. Let me take my time to learn the knowledge. And he stays 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4. Well, you don't see him even doing da'wah. And he just do da'wah for himself. He just reads, he accumulates. No, he attends the shuyukh, and he sits every day writing. Sometimes he might get master degree and PhD and everything. And you don't see any impact for him at all in life. That's not what Prophet Muhammad wanted us to do. We are supposed, as soon as you learn something, you teach it other, you learn more, you go continue. And if you teach what you learn, basically you will be reflecting, you will be learning more than the one that you are teaching. And this is what accumulative learning, synergistic power. You learn, you teach yourself, you take care of yourself, and you teach others, you strengthen yourself. But of course, in the process, you have to always think wider, bigger, lead systemic change, and you have to build shared vision with other people, and you continue building this with the team, building collaborative teams. Don't work in solo. We have to be careful about that. We need each other. I need you in as much as you need me. And don't belittle what I have, and I'm not supposed to belittle what you have. This is why we have teams working in the workshop. Everyone brings his own strength. Everyone complements the other. Somebody, his English is weak, but his Islamic knowledge is high. Somebody, his English is strong, but his Islamic is low. And they sit in the same team, learning from each other. He teaches me his English because he's strong, and I teach him Islamic. I give him the right Islamic principle because I'm stronger than him. While I'm in the workshop. This is why in the team we choose different nationalities, different levels of English, but at the same time you can find those who are with intermediate level of English are stronger Islamically. So because there will be a lot of discussion, there will be a lot of activities that require somebody with strong knowledge also in Islam that will add a lot of value to the group. So everyone has something to offer. Everyone is complementing each other. Don't belittle him because his English is weaker than you. He's better than you Islamically. Don't forget this. Not because you brag about your native speaker, like speaking English, you brag about it because you stayed in the state and you come to the workshop. Some people think that they come there and they have this feeling. And you tell them, like, wake up, man. That's not only for, you are supposed to help him become higher in English, better, and he's supposed to help you become Islamically better in your Islam, or even in your morality. Some people, they come loose, they have this they are open a little bit. So this is the beauty of working together. So that's one of the models. That's another model. And this is another, of course, I can explain this. I can go, there are 2 chapters about it I wrote in my thesis. There's a lot of work here. Basically, in a simple term, you sow the seeds in the farm, you sow the seeds of self-directed learning, you know, in the farm of what can I call it? In the seeds, in the soil. So basically, you sow the seeds of self-directed teams in the soil. Then you take care of it, you nurture it, you water it, okay? And this will develop your competencies. And when we say competencies, right away you should think about leadership, because the leadership is what ingredients is full of ingredients of competencies. And in the process, you will be developing principled leadership that Steve, what's his name? Steve, what talks about all the time. So you develop leadership, principled leadership, higher with higher morality, with higher ethics, till you come and you build this, as we said, the cross-cultural communication community, where you work together, helping each other to develop, coaching each other, mentoring each other, carrying the Islamic treasure to the whole world in the best way as a community of commitment, communities of interest, communities of practice. And that's, and if you want to build a university or write a course, you have to have all these with you. And this is very important to understand that in the workshop, we don't only tackle one aspect, because as you remember what I said, human being is a project, big project, and human being is an enigma because he has a lot of basically aspects that we need to cover. You need to cover the intellectual aspect, the continual learning aspect, the reflective aspect, and all of these are covered in our activities, by the way. So, and this is a book, by the way, written. It's called Learning as a Way of Being. It's a very important book for Peter Anvil, where he says these are very important for you to cover all of these aspects when you write your curriculum, or you design a college or a university or any activities, learning activities, or you want to package it, instructional design. You have to make sure you include all of this, the feeling learning, the reflective learning, the cultural learning, the creational learning, most importantly, of course, the taqwa learning, the morality learning, and the spiritual learning. All of this has to be embedded in anything you do. And all of this is very important for your home, for your kids, for your family, for your, so you have to be very aware of this. These are some of the models. And of course, this one also is very important model that I developed, and it was only one aspect. Then I developed it, made it better. That is part of my research because I found this model to be very weak. So I basically added my own studies, and I wrote about course for I think 2 chapters about it, or 3, I don't remember now. But basically, this is what I added. It was only the percentages that was done, I think, in UK by a professor. I forgot her name now. Okay, but it was on. She was speaking only about retention, and I studied it and found it's more than that. When you go the upper you go, it's not just retention. It is you develop empowerment, you develop knowledge retention, you develop leadership and communication, you develop the competency, you develop facilitation and mentoring. And this is where the research has to, if somebody is researching his master's degree, this is where you need to build on this research and continue researching on it. And this is the most powerful model I'm talking about here that requires a lot of other researches to be pursued, for anybody in PhD or master degree, that's very important. So, but the bottom line, in a nutshell, if you learn something, teach it to other people right away. That's the key, right away, immediately. And this is where you will get 90% retention. You'll get much better leadership, highest communication, highest empowerment, highest competency building, highest facilitator, the best facilitator, if you do this. And also, when it comes to facilitator, this also, it's very important to train the teacher to be a facilitator and a coach. Because if you go the upper you go in these things that you see here, It is very important to train the teachers to be coaches, mentors, and facilitators. Because also, training the teachers is part and parcel of the whole learning concept. Without which there will be a problem. So you need to develop a lot of facilitators. If somebody will take over EIEC and will run with it, if he does it the traditional way, I've attended some of those guys to see if they did. And I started giving them comments. I was like, you're not doing it right. That's not the facilitator role. Facilitator. You're still teaching. And as soon as you get into teaching, you lost the the most important thing, the most important and the significant thing about EIECC. Anyway, this is a lot of talk, and these are some of the. And I'll stop here. Thank you. But before I go, but I just want to show you something quickly. These are, of course, 8 weeks. Again, look at this one. This is the academy I'm building, and this is where I want to, inshallah, the future. I see somebody taking over this because I don't know if I'm gonna be around for that. But that's basically an overview. You can see the workshops about 8. This is in 8 months, basically. So basically, you give the 15-hour workshop, then people will do assignments, practical assignment, working da'wah. So this is not just you see, no. You look at this, look at this. These are the programs, workshops, and on the right, you'll see what? You'll see the methodology, the vessel, the EIEC vessel. This is a program methodology, SDLT, the EIECC. And I call it the orchard, حديقة المعرفة, the knowledge orchard, I call it. This is the way you need to do all of these workshops. If you want to be successful, if you want to really produce or reach to the goals of what we mentioned at the beginning. So then you'll have, and of course, these are the most important blood that run into the vessels and the arteries of the college: leadership, learning, volunteerism, language, and communication. And that's basically, and it will continue. So you have courses you can see the courses here, and you have sessions, reflective session, let's formalize, focus on production, project development, and continues like that. And these are basically the strategies that you need to apply in the academy: learner-centered, participant-driven, team-oriented, project-based, varied activities, and simulated work environment. With this, I'll stop. I think I've covered more than I'd expected. I've taken more time, but I hope that you've gained something today from this EIECC learning journey. I'm very happy to be here with you. Thank you again for the team, Oman team, the IOU Oman team. Thank you again for Shifa for really always hassling me and making sure that she dragged me to this. And thank you again to the sister Uzma and Noor for all of that, and thank for the whole team. Thank you for the whole team. May Allah bless you all.
Jazakallahu khairan kaseeran. Thank you so much, Dr. Khalid, for giving us very useful, blessed information, your tips, and your precious time. So now we are moving.
Go ahead.
Yes. So now we are moving towards our next segment of questions. So the first question for you is, can I attend these workshops online?
We did this online, but of course, you're not going to get the benefit as much as face-to-face, but we did it several times, alhamdulillah. There are some tools that we can do them online, but there is another tool that's difficult to do it online unless you have somebody who's so good when it comes to making teams. Remember, teams, and people movement. Because if you see the workshop, you'll see people moving all the time like a marathon. So online, there is a segment that can be done online, one tool or two tools. Yes. So the answer is yes, we can, but not all of it.
Okay, alhamdulillah. So the next question is, how to effectively convey the message of Islam to rude and sarcastic non-Muslims without being offensive to them?
How to do that? This is
Yes.
This is part and parcel of EIECC. This is what we teach there. It takes a long. It's not just, you cannot just give an answer like that. But in a nutshell, your morality has to be an Islamic exhibit on the move. In a nutshell, your morality has to be always there. So you have to be compassionate. You have to be merciful of the people. You have to respect the people. You have to be not aggressive. You have to be assertive. There are a lot of things that you can see. the art of conveying, you say here. But in the whole concept of EIECC is in it, you'll find, of course, lots of answers. And this is where we have communication criteria that will make you impactful when you communicate the message of Islam. But you need to prepare before, you need to prepare while, and you need to prepare after. All of this we talk about. There is the art of conveying the message. That is one of the presentation that we give. There is there is a workshop called "How Can We Win Hearts," and it is not done in a lecturing fashion, even though there is a lecture for that about 3 parts, but we do it differently using again the methodology of EIECC. It's a beautiful, beautiful workshop. How can we win hearts, and why did they become Muslim? We go through a 2-day process that we cover how we can win hearts. Actually, we learn, and we teach each other of how we can win hearts in the process without me lecturing the people. Even though, as I said, I've collected a lot of things and I've made it into a lecture. Not it was my thing, no, because I collected all of this from many people, and this is what we do in workshop. Many of the workshops is a collection of the products of the people themselves, and what amazes me and what makes me also feel sad is that after we finish all these beautiful products, I would have loved, or I'd love to see a committee taking all these products, vet it, edit it, and change turning it into either exhibits or booklets or brochures. Or we've seen beautiful products of a lot of people, but unfortunately, nobody continued doing basically the rest. You need to have a committee taking all that stuff and turn it into beautiful products. Because by the end of every workshop, alhamdulillah, we've seen something, wallahi al-azim, amazing, better than the books that we gave even. Some of the input that we have seen, better. Sometimes I say, take this book, خلاص, have your own book. In addition to this, make this book better. So this is the beauty of working and trying to go deep and trying to get the treasures and the capabilities of the people. Yes, go ahead.
Yes. Thank you so much for detailed clarifying answer. Our next question of today is, what if we want to do dawah but we don't get time as we are busy with our studies?
Oh, this is Shaitan telling you this. Nobody is busy. Okay, sorry for this answer that is so blunt. You can squeeze your time for da'wah, will make your studies better and better. If you follow what I have said here, you'll be stronger even in your studies. What I'm telling you here is so powerful that we never had the chance to learn it from when we were kids. What we are doing here, and anybody who attended the program, those youth who attended in Wami and other places in Bahrain, and some of them excelled in their university per their testimonial because they attended. They said it opened up a lot of skills, and it really improved a lot of skills that even benefited them in their university studies, and now they are engineers and they are pilots, some of them. That's their testimonials, by the way. So don't tell me, no, put some time for da'wah, and anything you do for da'wah, if you read more, you become better and better. So by the time you attend your studies, you become, you have better, as I say, capacity of thinking, critical thinking, all the communication better, presentation better, your leadership better. So don't tell me I don't have time for da'wah. You have to allocate time for da'wah, and it has to be a priority, because this will bless you and will bless your studies, will bless your family, and your life will be all blessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you have to breathe da'wah in and out. Don't tell me, you could squeeze it. Even if you go to colleges, your studies, you have to intend that it is for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whatever I study. Yes, it is for dunya, but if you turn your intention to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you make sure that whatever you study, you try to find a way of presenting Islam through your business, through your finance, through your account, through this, you still can do da'wah. But you just need to work it out. Don't tell me you cannot. You can. Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Khalid. Once again, may Allah bless you immensely in both worlds. Thank you so much for giving us all the useful informations and your precious time, and encourage us for the da'wah. Jazakallahu khairan kathiran.
Jazakumullah khair, all of you, and we have to end all of us always with Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, nashhadu لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك وجزاكم الله خير. I'm very blessed and honored to be with you here, and I'm always at your service anytime. جزاكم الله خير.
Ameen wa iyyak. Dear brothers and sisters, all Muslim individuals have to acquire the knowledge and the proper and effective communication skills, for surely it will help them greatly in giving dawah. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He gives us all success in this life and hereafter. From here, and I hand over my mic to dear Sister Shifa. I would like to thank Sister Shifa for providing us important information regarding IOU.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Let me tell you all a little bit about IOU, or International Open University. IOU's mission is to provide authentic Islamic knowledge, which is accessible, affordable, forming communities that practice Islamic ethics, having quality and application. Here is a short video which will tell you all about the courses that are offered at IOU.
Are you struggling with commitments and responsibilities? Are your goals halted for lack of opportunities? Don't worry, we can give you a helping hand. We are the International Open University, IOU. For over a decade, IOU has established itself as a leading online Islamic university. We offer a range of programs from a wide number of disciplines, like psychology, education, business administration, and Arabic language at various degree levels, including certificates, bachelor's, and master's. Our university is accredited in the Gambia and offers affordable fees to you, irrespective of where you live. IOU has been proud to teach students from all over the world and be led by its founder, Dr. Bilal Phillips. With us, you can experience diversity through shared faith and strong alumni support. IOU's blended learning incorporates Islamized education through all its mainstream curricula. IOU ensures adequate preparation for your dream career to gain authentic knowledge of Islam and help you towards self-enhancement. Your wait is finally over. Just take the first step to get in touch with us. Let us guide you to continue your amazing journey of knowledge and excellence with the International Open University. Register today for our spring or fall semesters and enjoy a 10% discount when you enroll early. Learn more at our website.
Apart from this, we also offer Quran memorization at the Global Quran Memorization Center. IOU also offers General Diploma in Islamic Studies. For further assistance, you may contact helpdesk at iou.edu.gm. Regarding admissions and general inquiry, you can email info@iou.edu.gm. You can share your feedback and any questions that you have to our Oman Sister Student Committee email, that is oman.sr.sc@iou.edu.gm. With this, we have come towards the end of today's session. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge, appreciate, and thank each and every one that is involved in the session. First and foremost, Alhamdulillah, all praise and thanks is to Allah. This session has been possible only by His mercy and help. On behalf of IOU Oman Sisters Student Committee, I'd like to show immense gratitude and appreciation to our honorable guest speaker, Dr. Khalid Al-Dosari, for an amazing and an impactful session. Jazakallahu khair for your precious time and efforts. I'm greatly thankful to IOU for this amazing platform where we can learn and share the vast knowledge of Islam. I would also like to thank our student committee officers, Sister Maha and Sister Noor, for their help and support throughout our programs. I thank my fellow Oman Sister Student Committee members, Sister Uzma, who is the host, and Sister Tahreem in the YouTube live chat for their selfless efforts and immense hard work in planning and organizing our sessions. Jazakumullahu khairan. Last but never the least, I'm grateful to each and every one of you who have joined with us, without whom our event wouldn't have been possible. Jazakumullahu khairan for your fruitful participation. I hope that you were able to take abundant lessons and learn something new from today's session. I pray to Allah to accept all our effort in gaining knowledge. May Allah accept from us and give us the tawfiq to become better Muslims with increased Iman. Jazakumullahu khairan. We will end here with the dua. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.